Drogba indirdi ceza. Snyder! Snyder gol! Allah'ım gol!
Muslera! Fernando Muslera! Golün adı Muslera!
Sarıyoglu, Drogba! This is incredible!
Merhaba, and welcome to episode 49 of The Lion's Den, a Galatasaray podcast done by the community, for the community. Today, I'll be your host. I'm Emre, as you guys probably have gotten quite used to my voice now and then. And we got two of the lads with me. We got Coach John, who finally made it back. It's good to have you back, brother. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. So excited to be back. I've been away for a few episodes, dealing with some curveballs that we get, thrown from time to time. But so happy to be back. Happy to talk to you. Happy to hear from you, man. Yeah, I'm excited. For
Likewise, bro. Yeah, I'm excited to have you back and have you go into those deep analysis you usually go into. Wouldn't you agree, Saleh from the Netherlands?
Yes. I would agree, man. I've missed my brother John. It's been over 1.5 months not being him being present on the pod, and looking forward to having the three of us again, Team America without Yasin and me as the lone European. And what else can I say? Actually, I can say one thing already. We were supposed to have the six of us, but well, here we are.
Yeah,
it,
speaking of
curveballs,
right?
hit us all, huh?
Yeah, I know,
half
bro.
of it fell off. Well, one was business related, which I have the most sympathy for, which is with Maz, but the other two were very kind of unexpected. But oh well. Hopefully they'll join us some next time.
The two troublemakers, Samet and Yasin.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think they went on a date together or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, they're fighting over Twitter rights right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad to have you guys with me. Today will be quite, a discussion, I'll say, from my end, from John's end. I'm sure you have a lot to add, Saleh. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the Konya game, which ended in a 2-1 loss. But before we get into that, we have some news on the horizon. So let's get into the news. Our boy Sacha Boey has been catching the attention of multiple clubs as of late. Some of them include Lens, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Man United, Monza, Udinese, and Sassuolo. And the fees aren't quite light either. But what do you guys think that his fee should be? What would it take for you guys to let Sacha go? Let's start with John.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been saying it for some time now. I don't care what anyone says. This is the best fullback in Turkey. He's the best. He's proved it against every team in the league, all the teams we've played in Europe. He's the best. I would have to say, honestly, like, maybe I'm shooting a little too high. I think Sacha Boey is like a 20 million euro player. Honestly, I really do think he is. And I know people are going to say, no, we don't sell players for that much in Turkey. He'll probably go for like maybe between 12 to 15. And that always bothers me. And it's like, we have to break that I don't know, that
stigma.
mindset or, yeah, exactly. We have to break that eventually. We let Marcao go for too little, in my opinion, even though he's not having the greatest time right now. But we have players on our hands like Bowie and Nelson where it's time we get what these players are worth. And I have no doubt that Sacha can play in the Premier League. I have absolutely no doubt about that. So,
I was going to say, I felt like you're lowballing 20 mil, 150 million, Len.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah.
Speaking of Premier League, one of the players from the Premier League is Saleh's favorite team, Arsenal. What do you think?
Also John's,
how do you think? Also, John, yeah, Arteta lovers here. Saleh, how would you see Boey in Arsenal? You think he'd be a fit?
Honestly, yeah, I could actually see it working. As Sacha Boey is great going forward, has great recovery on him as well. And the way they play is usually with one fullback who's a bit more, I would say, defensive-minded, and one which is, I mean, we all know it's Zinchenko, which almost plays like a midfielder. I think he could fit that role. I really find him quite complete. I don't see any huge flaw in him that I would put basically to say that he won't make it in be it the Premier League or another top 5 league. And this is not
the fullback you're speaking of. Sorry, didn't want to cut you off. He's not an actual right back, right? Like, it's Ben White that has been playing at the right back position, no?
Yes, he's not an actual right back. He's more of a center back / like a third center back. So at Brighton, which is again then cutting it back to your ex team due to Potter, but he would tend to go a bit more forward. So I don't know. He's like a ball playing defender, if that makes sense.
Can you guys imagine at 22 years old what Arteta could do with Sacha Boey? Like I have no, like, he deserves a move, like a big move like that. And if there's a manager for one of these big clubs that is willing to take a risk on Sacha, I'm so confident that it would pay off, because I think he's just such a brilliant player, man. And he's still so young.
And look, generally speaking, I wouldn't say I'm like the most optimistic when going with our players. Like I try to be like reasonable or rational in a way. But Sacha Boey, honestly, is like not just to sound biased or anything, but he's truly a quality player. And the fact that we got him for just $1 million is also, like, I think that's true, like, top talent scouting by us. I think that's done really well.
That's
one of the
phenomenal
things that was done well last year, I do have to say. But yeah, happy to have him.
And
seems like
sorry, Emre, just as a side note as well, his current market fee on transfer market's 11 million euros. So
you mean Fener market?
Yeah, on the Fener market, exactly. So I don't waste my time checking because it's pointless. But I'm sure if I checked right now, Ferdi would minimum has to be at least 15 million. Has to be.
Yeah,
and that's a joke.
It is what it is, man.
The thing that I do have to say though, the numbers on transfer market, of course, it's not like an official source, and like depending on what league you play in, and sometimes team as well, does mean the numbers are a bit inflated. Because let's say Bowie did go to the Premier League, even if he didn't play, I think his value would automatically be increased by like 10 to 15 million just because he's in that league, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our league is just not. Yeah, just like John said before, there's a stigma where somehow in the Turkish league, and especially our club, isn't really able to get a decent fee, even if the player is, well, quality. So one day that will end. Yeah. That's all I can say.
Zaniolo even got his value slashed, I think, in half on Fenerbahçe, just because he came to the Turkish league. I don't know if that's because he came here or that's because of the fee that he went for, which is what, 15 million plus bonuses. But again, I don't think that's his actual value, because I don't know if players are supposed to go down immediately for the prices that they were last sold for. I don't know if that's how it works. If people know better, please enlighten me. But yeah, I mean, Bowie, he also has a French passport as well, so I don't see why he wouldn't be able to go for big amounts. And his potential to play for the French team wouldn't be out of the question either.
Yeah, that's also a good thing you mentioned. European passport is important for, I don't know if it's the case in every league, but I know, for example, in Italy, teams are only allowed to have, I think, like 3 or 4 non-European foreigners. And well, since he's European, he would obviously not be penaltied by that. So makes him even more attractive in that sense.
Don't say penalties to me today, man, please.
Yeah, that's a touchy subject. But I wanted to bring up as well, like, just as a side note, and kind of moving on as well. But we're going into the international break, and we're actually going to be playing a friendly against Qarabag, our team from Azerbaijan, our brothers from Azerbaijan. This is sort of a charity match, and the proceeds from the match are going to the earthquake victims, which I think is great. So I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. I think it was a good idea, and I'm a fan of doing as many of these as we can. And I think it was on the last episode you guys were talking about the auction for the jerseys and
The
all
jerseys and stuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it's phenomenal, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I was glad to see that announced.
Our team's just constantly doing what is expected of us, and the good thing, the honorable thing. We love to see it. We love to see it. All right, and with that said, I think we got past most of the relevant news as of late, the news and rumors, and I think we can start slowly creeping into the Konyaspor game, which again ended in a loss of 2-1, which ended our 14-game winning streak. And so, with that said, Coach John, you ready to take us into the game?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
I've been waiting for this.
It's been a while. Exactly.
Too much pressure now. No, I'm ready, man. So
Let me
this
get
was
that, orgasm. All right, let's
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
This was round 26 of the Super League. We were away to Konyaspor, like Emre's mentioned a couple of times now. It unfortunately finished in a 2-1 loss. We'll go through starting 11 and some stats as well. Slightly different starting 11 because of some injuries, suspensions as well. We had Muslera in goal, of course. The backline, Leo Dubois, Abdul Karim, Kaan Ayhan starting in place of Nelson and Sacha Boey. The midfield was Sergio Oliveira, Berkan starting in place of Torreira, who was on the bench for this match, and Rashica playing in front of them, playing in the 10, which he played in the previous match for a little bit and seemed really promising. So I'm going to get into that a little later. But and then on the wings we had Kerem, Barish, and of course Icardi starting up front. Just some quick stats. Possession was 65% for Galatasaray, 35% for Konya. Shots were 19-15 in favor of Galatasaray. And unfortunately, kind of heartbreaking, an XG of 2.45 for us and 1.70 for Konya. Another sort of side note, according to SofaScore, our highest rated player for the match was Sergio Oliveira, and our lowest was Muslera. And according to FOTMob, whichever one you trust more, our highest rated player was Kerem and lowest was Muslera, which I have to disagree with. I'm going to get into that a little in a little bit as well. But just a brief overview of the match as well. We had the opening goal come from Rashica, assisted by Kerem in the 31st minute. That brought us to halftime where it was 1-0. Konya were able to tie it in the 62nd minute and then score the heartbreaker in the 90th minute in stoppage time to win it 2-1. And man, there's a lot to say about this match. If you guys will allow me, I guess I'll sort of I'll start unpacking it.
Lift us off.
I think first of all, before we even start talking about anything, like you mentioned, we went on some historic run. 14 games in the league. I think it was like 17 or 18 matches unbeaten, just in general. Unbelievable. I honestly, I don't think I expected that from the team and Okan Buruk. I had my doubts about him, which have pretty much all disappeared at this point. But I think I didn't expect us to win every single match until the end of the season. Of course, there's going to be some draws. There could be a couple losses mixed in there. So, I'm not really upset about that, but I'm really upset about how we showed up for this match, how we played this match. And, in both halves, I was complaining to myself and to some of you as well. I really don't understand, like we go into these matches, 14 games unbeaten, morale is high, confidence is high, we seem unbeatable, and we're playing this like ping pong style football for some reason, kicking it down the field. Konya kicks it back, we kick it back, they kick it back. Absolutely zero control over the match. There was zero control over this match from the first whistle until the end. I was so bothered by that. And I was saying to some of the guys in the chat that we have that, we're not going to win like this. Like Konya are going to score if we keep doing this, right? If we don't grab the reins of this match a little bit and dictate it and to our liking, we're not going to get a result here. And I was so pissed off that seemed, I don't know if that was our game plan or if that's just, what happened in the match. And I have to say, like, I was so disappointed in that and so disappointed in pretty much every player. Like, The only player I can say that really showed up for this match, in my opinion, was Rashica. I thought he played amazing. I thought he played really well. He scored the goal. He was everywhere. He was creative, causing all kinds of problems. There was a penalty showed at the beginning of the match, which they didn't give us. But just so disappointed with all the players, how we were playing. I thought it was really lousy, man. What did you guys think about that?
If Saleh wants to go,
Me first?
if not, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I'm actually on the same boat as in, of course, eventually you'll lose a match, It sucks, but eventually it will happen, right? The thing that I have to agree with John is basically the manner we lost in. I think, look, if you see the players trying hard, right, and you see the effort being put in, and you lose a game, then, fair play, right? You can lose. It can happen. It's still football in the end. It's a relatively low-scoring sport, and sometimes luck, can be on your side. But this game, just like you mentioned, you said you only liked Rashica. Again, I struggle with this name always. Rashica. I would add Kerem to that too. I think he also had a pretty good game. But the rest of the team just didn't really click. If you have to talk about Icardi, the amount of chances we gave him, but he wasn't really able to square it in. Barish, who I know Emre is on this, as most of us actually are, on the wing, he just doesn't seem to be really it. He looks kind of lost on the wing. For some reason, he's a way more direct player. I would prefer him to see a bit more central, but there you go. And the other thing was, I think our defense in general, even though I didn't expect much from Konya, our defense still looked kind of shaky. Like Abdul Karim, I don't know what happened this game. Like last game, he went pretty rampant, right? He went forward, tried some risky balls, etc. But this game, he did that too, but just didn't work. I don't know. It was worrying. And the thing is, even though the game ended 2-1, it could have ended 4-1. We actually conceded 2 more goals. Luckily, those were offside, but what can I conclude this as? I'll conclude it as, I'm sorry, guys, I jinxed it massively. Like last week, I was like, oh, Konya, they haven't scored since this coach has been appointed. They're trash, etc., etc. And there you go. We just lost the game in a very upsetting way. Let me put
and
it that way.
before we give Emre the floor, I probably should have mentioned that as well. Like I think it's been 10 matches, 9 or 10 matches since Konya have won a football game.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2 draws and the rest are losses. They haven't scored in 5 matches as well.
They haven't scored since this guy has been appointed, and he has been their coach for, well, with this one included, it was, without this one included, he managed for 5 games, and Konya haven't scored a single goal. And against us, they just suddenly score 4. Like, how is that even possible? So it's basically either just the lineup didn't work, which again I find questionable, or it was how do you call it? Maybe from our side we just massively underestimated. Yeah, underestimated Konya.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have a different approach to this, if I may.
Go ahead.
Well, I disagreed. Well, okay. Everyone for weeks have been saying how Konyaspor have been this, have been that. They've been shit.
Mm-hmm.
They have not been scoring any goals whatsoever. And so, me being me, since I hear everyone regurgitating the same thing, I want to trust, but I want to confirm myself. So I pulled up their last game against Giresunspor to see what they actually did. And this game, I don't know how, but it was a miracle. It ended 0-0 because Konyaspor missed 20 chances that game, and 2 of their shots came off the post that one game. So people expected them to not be able to do anything in attack. No, they actually seemingly have gotten better over the past couple of weeks. When a new coach comes, it's not going to immediately take effect. I never see that happen. If it does, it's usually a reactionary thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they did not seem like they couldn't attack. Where the thing that's still continuing is their terrible defense. That still happened. They're still giving away tons of chances. And that's what I wanted to point out today is one thing you guys didn't mention is Icardi's performance.
Yep.
I've never seen Icardi this terrible at finishing the chances he was given. This game, yes, could have ended 4-1, Konyaspor, but it could also ended 4-1 Galatasaray.
Yeah.
If Icardi had finished the plethora of chances that he had attained. We always say, the ball never gets to Icardi. Bro, I don't know how many times.
Yeah, this game was different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got the ball plenty of times. That's
really
one. That's one
too.
factor. Yes. And you guys mentioned the defense. All right. This is where I think I'm going to agree with Summit. I think Emin Bayram should have played this game. Why? That's his actual position, right? The right center back. Why do I say this? Because, okay, look, Kan Hayan, he's not bad. He wasn't terrible. He passes really well. And he pushes the team forward. That's great. But what he doesn't know yet is the way we defend, is the way we press. Why is Nelson so gifted right now? Because Nelson cuts every single attack. He's a menace in the air. But one thing he started doing that we were complaining about, even Okan Hoca was complaining about, is back when we were first implementing his game plan, he would not push up into midfield to meet the opposition's midfielders to stop them from, trying to pass. Because when you are we all played football, right? When you're trying to pass the ball and someone's on, directly on you physically, it takes you a minute to, be able to, pull off a pass. Kan Hayan did not do any of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
he did
on the
not
slow
press.
side.
Yes, he was always just staying back. And so it gave them multiple opportunities to pick out passes. And then one other factor, I think our defense was not great today, was Boey's performance was kind of iffy today. I know we were talking about how he's worth 150 million, Len, but this game, I don't know. We were off, man.
Yeah, everyone was off, bro. Literally,
everyone was off.
Almost everyone was off. I really, like I said, I can only give it to Rashica. Salih wants to say Kerem was fine. That's fine by me too. He wasn't terrible, but everyone was off today. Everyone, man. No one played good. And just like you said, the amount of chances that we missed. You can say Konya scored 4 goals. That's good for them. We could have scored 5.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's as simple as that. We literally could have scored 5. And I don't know. It's one thing to say, oh man, we played so good, but Icardi was off. He missed. No, everyone was off today. No one looked good. Even Abdul Kerim. He made so many mistakes in I think it was the first half. He got burned 2-3 times just in the first half alone. I don't know. I'm not sure what it was. And like I said, I can't expect the team to win every single game. Just because we were on
John.
Yeah.
Both their goals came from deflections.
That's right.
That's how unfortunate we were that game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. The only good thing that I saw, which is exciting, is Rashica's performance, because I didn't know that he could play like that in that position, which is really useful. But even with that said, guys, come on, let's face it. We miss Mertens so much, man.
Yes.
We miss him so much. He does everything, man. He literally does everything. Going forward, defending, just being part of the build-up play, the pace that he plays at, the pressure he puts on the other team.
He leads by example. Yeah,
of course.
massively.
We miss him so bad. So, I applaud Rashica for his performance, but I really can't wait for Mertens to come back, because it makes a huge difference, man.
So,
Yep.
But then, then comes the question, right? How could it, go this way? What or why did this happen? That's basically what I wondered.
What happened? What do you mean?
Just the performance, I guess.
Yeah, the performance, exactly. Why did it come to this point that we suddenly didn't really look good, right?
Well, do you guys think maybe the streak had a lot of pressure on the guys, and maybe people were expecting too much, and a lot of the players were taken and put on a pedestal, like Icardi, for example. Everyone was praising Icardi. Yeah. Not that he didn't deserve that praise, but do you guys feel like the pressure might have gone to the guys' heads? And then also, look, you're Galatasaray, you have a 14-game winning streak. The opposition is going to come out and try to win. Every opposition wants to win. They want to make headlines, man. They want to get back into form, especially teams like Konyaspor, who's on a like losing streak. They want to put their all. They have nothing to lose. They lose 3-0. Okay, they lose 3-0. Whoop-de-doo. They're not going to get relegated. Right?
Emre, I used to be pretty big in sports gambling. I don't gamble anymore, but there's a I guess you can call it a law or like a rule in sports gambling. And you never, like, this might sound weird, but you never want to gamble on a team that has won 14 games in a row, because the law is they're due for a loss and it becomes risky. If a team is on like a 2-game win streak, fine. If a team is on a huge win streak or a huge losing streak, you don't want to gamble because it's just a matter of time. They're due for a win or they're due for a loss. And look at this match. You know, we were due for a loss. They were due for a win, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
The law checks out in this scenario. So again, like, that's why I'm not really that surprised or even that disappointed. It's just the way that we played in this match and the effort the players gave is what really pisses me off. You know, that's just what it comes down to for me.
If I may add another rule, you know, I didn't gamble, I do now. So if there's another rule I could add.
Complete opposite, okay.
Yeah, exactly, complete opposite. Is never bet for your own team. I wonder who did that.
Oh my God. Dude, that's the number one rule in all of gambling.
Bro, I don't know why. I saw the odds. I honestly never placed like a bet on Galatasaray. I'm like, nah, you know, I feel like it's cursed too. But we were doing so well. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. Let me just do one. And then suddenly I see the scoreboard. I'm like, I mean, of course, then I don't care about the money anymore. But I'm like,
yeah,
fuck,
bro.
Just why?
You know,
I learned my
I
lesson.
don't know if I don't. You guys probably don't remember this. I still have the picture in my camera roll. This is a side note, just before we continue talking about the match. But on the opening weekend of this year, like for the Super League this year, I put a $10 bet on a parlay, which is like a combination of bets, right? I made a pick for every single match. I won every single match except the Galatasaray one. Galatasaray were the only team to screw over my parlay. I would have turned 10 into, I think it was like 14 or like 1,600 or something. And yeah, anyways, point being, if anyone's listening,
don't bet.
Well, yeah.
If any betting promoters want to promote us after hearing that, you're welcome, and we're open offers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, anyone that's listening to this, don't gamble. It's not good. But if you are gambling, do not gamble on your own team under any circumstance. And
also on a team that is on a losing streak, especially a team that is. Look, Konya at some point were first in the league, right? And I still have no idea why they sacked their manager. Honestly, I think Konya were doing like pretty well for a team with, I wouldn't say the highest of budgets. But yeah, eventually they had to win, and I guess it had to be us. Of course, you know, it had to be us.
It was written in the stars.
Wallah, yeah.
All right, so we talked about the players. I think the one thing I wanted to talk about is the man in charge, the man who could have actually came with a win despite the performance. Because not every game you're going to perform as expected. You're not going to come out swinging. You will have downturns and, you know, whatnot. But one thing I wanted to talk about is Matza. I understand making a mistake once, twice, but 3 times, come on. Matza is just not the team, not the player that we need. Matza is not that guy. And I don't know what it is about Matza. I think it was a very big mistake not to find and get a replacement or a backup for Mertens, because I don't know if you guys remember, I've been saying this for a while. That's one position I really feel like we need to have someone as backup.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not fit.
And now we don't have Mertens. What's that?
Yeah, Mata's just, bro, he's strolling around. Like, he's just not...
Bro, he's not... Dude, before you take over, whoever takes over, there's this one position that drove me up the wall. This man was in the midfield and they were on a counterattack. Mm-hmm. This guy is walking, walking. And then Gomes, 38-year-old Gomes, ran past him to help defend. Mata, what are you doing, bro? Do you need a wheelchair? My friend, I got you. What is going on, brother? Please.
Yeah. I unfortunately, I'd have to agree. Like, I like Mata, like, just singling him out as a great person guy, and a player and stuff. But the stage and the team that we have right now and the stage that the team is at, he can't really help us in any way, honestly. And if now that we've seen this, if God forbid anything else happens to Mertens and we need someone there, I would be pretty pissed off if he plays over Rashica. Yeah, man, he just doesn't really add anything to us right now.
Do you think that it would have been just wise to keep Rashica as is in the midfield and just bring on Zaniolo? To take it away.
Yeah, so I didn't really want to take over as in just that specific point, but more like the subs, in general. Because, look, we first started with I won't say Burak Alper Yilmaz, Barış Alper Yilmaz, and I think that was fair. He just wasn't having his game. I think he looked just like most players, but
when has he have his, like, he never had his game on that wing. I can't remember one performance, maybe in a friendly, I think. That's where he only did well.
He didn't play well. We tried again, it didn't work out. Fine, Zaniolo comes in, which I think had a actually also not a too good of a run. It was just very average, maybe below average. But the one sub I just didn't get, or basically two subs, is one. Why wasn't Icardi subbed out earlier? He just, you clearly could see that he was not having his game. And he looked really frustrated, and yeah, it just didn't work out. I don't know why he was still on the field.
I'll tell you why.
And the other one would be indeed Rashica, our best player, even though it was at the, 86th minute, got subbed out. I think he should have just stayed on. He looked the best player that we had, the most hungry player we had. And we subbed him out, well, for Gomes in this case, so we went to more of a 4-4-2. But I would have preferred to keep him on and Gomes to come in for, like, Icardi, for example. That would be something
I don't think
I would have done.
So here's the thing. Icardi is a superstar, right? So what happens when you piss off someone like Icardi? You kind of lose performance from him. So I think Okan Hoca was reluctant to take him out when he's already pissed to, drive his morale down. Because I've noticed that he doesn't really have the will, or he's playing the long game. He's playing the long con, right? He's trying to make sure Icardi stays moralistic, like has that motivation. He's like, because if you take him out and put Gomes in, he's going to be like, oh, wow, 38-year-olds replacing me, so they have no faith in me. He might be bad this game, fine. Everyone has their shit games. It's acceptable. But Icardi, he always shows up in big games, and we still have big games left.
So what you're saying is, let's say, of course, we have a break right now, or a break coming up soon. But let's say he then plays at this level for 2, 3, 4 games. Like, at what point is it then for you?
Well, if it keeps continuing, obviously it won't be, but like, look, everyone has their downturn. Agree with me or not, it's still Icardi at the end of the day. He still saved our asses multiple times. One game shouldn't discount him from being that guy. Okay? It's just one game at the end of the day. It happens. And it wasn't only him that was bad. It was multiple people that we can blame. But who's going to get the most blame? It's obviously going to be the guy who scores. It's always your scorer and your keeper that gets the most blame when you lose. And when you win, they get the most praise, right? So that's what happens. One thing I didn't understand, I don't know why they say it was an illness, but John, what do you think about starting Badkon instead of Torreira? What do you think about that?
I think that there's no situation on the face of the planet where that should happen, because unless he's sick, of course, like situations like that. But if he's healthy and ready to play, I don't think that should ever happen.
I agree. Then why, if he was sick, why did he come in at the 80th minute?
Right.
Why?
Yeah, it was an interesting decision. It was as soon as I saw the starting lineup, it's the first thing I asked. I asked, does anyone know why Torreira is not playing? And Lucas Torreira is one of the best players in the league. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that would argue he is the best. And he's definitely levels above Berkan. And, let's face it, like, even if we're playing against 11 giants, 11 90-foot players, Torreira would be the smallest guy in the pitch. I would still play him because he's that good. He's that good.
Exactly.
And just like we're talking about Icardi, like, it's part of football. You're not going to play amazing every match for the rest of your life. There's going to be bad spots. There's going to be small runs of bad form, and then you pick it up again, and you might dip again. It's the nature of football, right? And I think Torreira has been amazing in probably like 95% of the matches. There's maybe been like 1 or 2 matches where he was kind of off, but even when he's kind of off, he has to play. He has to, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And Devrim Özkan, if you're listening, girl, I don't know why you had to go and break the kid's heart. I don't know why you had to do it to him.
She better not, bro. She better not. I'll tell you guys that right now.
Go follow our boy. Give him some motivation, you know, some hearts emojis in his DMs. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yeah, bro. There's a
championship's on the line, girl.
There's a guy I know she should go after. His name's Ener Valencia. She should send him a DM, bro. Go break his heart.
Yeah.
On Berkan though, would you guys have been okay if you... Okay, so you guys obviously want Torreira to start, which, you know, is fair. He's one of our... Not one of our... He's probably the best or like second best player we have.
Yeah.
But Berkan over Sergio, would that have been okay in a more advanced role for you guys? Because Sergio also... I don't know, he's such a weird player to me. Like, some games he looks like class. Other games he just looks so slow.
You know, yeah, one thing I just don't understand why the Hoja never tried, in my mind, is like, especially when there's no Mertens available. Bro, why can't we have Lucas Torreira and Berkan in midfield defending and then Oliveira at 10? Why can't we just try that once? Has he ever tried that? Over Mata? Like, this cannot be worse than Mata. You cannot convince me otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, when you put it like that, yeah, it probably is. I don't think it would be worse than Mata, but I don't know, man. Like I would be interested.
Infinite stamina, basically running around, getting every ball.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna have a bad time in midfield. Like, they're not gonna get past that midfield as easily as they did this game.
Like, I would be interested in seeing it, but I don't know how. I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. I don't know how the three of them would play together. Like, first of all, I don't think we've seen Torreira and like Torreira playing with Berkan, have we?
No.
Yeah, we haven't seen that.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that. And I don't know. That seems a little bit too static, almost. You know, exactly. It's a little bit too static. Like, that's why for me, I love Mertens, Sergio, and Torreira. I think it's excellent. Like, the balance in those three players, I think is tremendous.
The thing with Torreira is, though, if you look at his career, generally speaking, yes, we've been using him basically as a DM6 in most of our games, but he's also played in the 8 role and even the 10 role. Like, at
Arsenal, right?
Yeah, he did under,
I remember him.
Emery. Yeah, he actually played as a 10.
Unai Emery.
Which, you know, still is a bit
and
bizarre,
he scored like 5 goals or something like that. I remember.
It's not bad, you know. Like, we couldn't even try
that. Like, he can
He's
make some contributions.
He's like a, how do you say it? Swiss Army knife. You can put him anywhere in midfield. I think it will work anyway. He's too good.
Yeah, he's amazing,
you guys
man.
mentioned that it would be too static, but bro, it cannot be more static than Mata having Gomez run past him to defend.
That's the thing. I mean, when you draw that comparison, then yeah, you know, there's
bro,
a lot that could be better than that. You know.
But, yeah, so I don't know. Like, Okan Hoja, look, we can't shit on the guy. How many times has he made subs that completely turned the game around and won that game for us? Plenty.
Yeah.
We came here, we praised him, and obviously we're going to criticize when, you know, we lose because of bad subs. It happens. You're not going to make the best subs every single game. Yeah, exactly. Like, even Fatih Terim back in his heydays, man. He had bad subs. He had bad games where he lost very important games.
You're gonna lose.
There's
no way around it. There's no way around it. You're going to lose. It's literally as simple as that. You're gonna lose. You're gonna drop points. That's the game. You know, if you're not,
except
if you're not
in
willing,
one scenario.
What's that?
When you have the refs helping you out.
Yeah.
You know.
Well.
So that's one thing I wanted to talk about that we haven't touched upon.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to talk about.
And Emre, we can I'm just gonna sit back and let you do your thing, but we forgot to mention or I think I just briefly mentioned in the first half we had Leo Dubois who almost had his leg broken from a player that stomped on him and just saw a yellow card. There was no red, which I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a a straight red. It's clear.
It's
I mean,
way
it's
too
a
high
very
up, too dangerous.
dangerous play. So I'm not sure how he got away with just a yellow there, but we saw a sort of similar thing in the Fener match today. And Emre, do your thing, man.
Yep. So I think most people would agree who have some sort of knowledge in football or, some sense of, decent being, agree that Dubois, the challenge on Dubois was a red card. It was in the day and night, you cannot convince me that it was not a red card. The man almost chopped off his leg. And after the game, Dubois even put out a picture and you could see the damn marks on his ankle.
Yeah,
it was above
bad.
his ankle.
Very bad.
It was very bad. And they gave him a yellow card. VAR didn't intervene.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. They didn't check it at all. Not only that, but we also didn't talk about Rashica's potential penalty. So that one pissed me off even more because at first I was like, you know what? It might have been a little too soft or it might be meh, but it could be a penalty, 50-50 for me. And then, but what you see today, at the time recording, Fenerbahce played, Ener Valencia gets the same position and he gets a penalty for it. And not only that, Osai, was it Osai Samuel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He won a penalty too. Yeah.
Also, yes, he made a similar challenge to Dubois' situation where he didn't get carded, or he got a yellow card, I believe.
Right, which should have been a red, undoubtedly.
Which should have been a red.
Yeah.
And so this is coming after the whole incident starting with the Lale Orta incident. So those who of you do not know about that, so there were rumors about Lale Orta going and intervening with the VAR chamber and the broadcasters for Bein Sports. I think it started with the Donk and Zaniolo position where Donk had, basically went and tried to injure Zaniolo and they removed that whole highlight from the highlights in general. And she called that whole thing a scandal. So you're telling me that's a scandal, but going and removing that is not a scandal. Many people came out and said that she needed to resign because, well, that's pretty much fraud if you ask me, lads. What do you guys say about that? Isn't that not fraud?
I don't see how it's not. I mean, I'm the person that calls...
a rhetorical question.
yeah. I mean, I'm the one that calls out these frauds more than anyone. And
like removing evidence, what benefit does it bring to not only us, but
crazy.
To anyone, basically, right? Nothing. It just shows their incompetence, that they're just trying to hide it or trying to steer towards, certain club. Again, I don't want this, just a small disclaimer from my side, I don't want it to be necessarily directed towards Nedesem, a club, but it's like, I just want equality, man. That's all I want. It's not that I necessarily want one team to be favored or the other. I just want, adalet. That's what they say, right? Just,
like the thing about this that really, really bothers me is that when we look back at a season, like I think it was 2 seasons ago when we lost on goals, we lost the league on goals to Besiktas, right?
Goal.
Yeah. It's like at the end of the season, when you look back at the whole season, when you look back at all the games, all the different moments, it's things like this that honestly, it makes or breaks you. It really does. It makes or breaks you. We just lost 2-1 to Konya when they should have been playing with a man down from the first half, right? If that happens,
yes.
I think we all know how that match ends. So we go from that to losing the match. Then we have Fener, who just won their match, who should have been down to 10 men. And they can barely score with 11. They don't score goals.
They need penalties.
Fenerbahce don't score goals. They score penalties, right? So imagine that. Now imagine at the end of the season, it comes down to it. Our final game of the season is against Fenerbahce. Imagine we're tied on points. God forbid. Or it's so close where it comes down to that. And we look back at weeks like this and moments like this that honestly make or break you. And that's really what bothers me, because these aren't small decisions, Like, fine, we're not playing well. We didn't score the goals. But it's these the little things that add up that really catch up to you at the end, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's literally that, man. Bro, considering that we didn't have any VAR for the first 10 weeks, it's as if it didn't exist in our name. That makes a big difference. We dropped points early in the half as well. And if VAR was available for us, we wouldn't have lost as many points. We would have maybe came out with a few ties, a few more points that could be added towards the end of the season. But it's not there for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there for us when we need it. It's only there for us when we don't need it. That's the crazy part. When did we ever get a pen that we scored that turned the game around as frequently as Fenerbahce does or any other team? And considering that we get into as many positions as they do, we're not that far behind in goals scored. We have like the most balls into the damn opponent's half. And so, but yet we have less than half their penalties. They have almost 2.5 times their penalties. It's either 13. I keep seeing 13 and 18. I don't know which one is the real one, but I'm going to go with 13.
Yeah, they scored 12 and they have 13.
Mm-hmm. Right, they scored 12. We had 5. We only scored 3. Okay? So it's clear to me that there is some sort of imbalance there. Right? But they just want to consistently talk about the one Sivas position, the one offside goal. God forbid that was given to them. As if that would have made the world difference.
I know.
And the same game, Nelson didn't get a penalty. Right, because, like the league wants Galatasaray to win, right? They definitely want us to win. They want Fenerbahce to lose. Dude, this Algı operation that people always talk about, they're the kings of it, man. And George Jesus is right, bro. This is a game that's won on the table, not on the field, it seems. And it's I don't know how to say it, bro. It's crazy that how he's able to say things like that and not get any bans. Meanwhile, Fatih Terim, back in the day, would say something like that.
Miraculous. Bro.
And get 5 games minimum.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very crazy.
So there's a huge inequality going on within the league. Not that I didn't expect it, but in like it's this noticeable. It's like they don't even hide it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think I don't know, man. Maybe it's just the coach that's in me that's coming out. But I always look at this the same. Like it pisses me off for a day or two, but then I always end up telling myself the same exact thing. I mean, you look at the position we're in. It's in our hands. It's in our hands. If they want to break Dubois' foot, give him a yellow card. I don't care. Go ahead. But at the end of the day, we have to do our job. We got to put the ball in the net. We just got to win the games. It's as simple as that. If they want to break his leg and not call it, that's fine. If they want to call our goals offside, that's fine. If they want to give Fener 50 penalties a match, that's fine. But at the end of the day, the other team that's on the pitch, they have to beat us. That's always how I look at it. If we just leave it in our hands and block out all this other bullshit that's going on, I know that we can become champions because we didn't win 14 league games in a row from luck. It's not luck. We're that good. Right? So it doesn't matter.
It's difficult though.
Still difficult, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible.
And to be fair, during those 14 games, this Lale Orta broad was not there for most of it. If we take that into account, she's the new head of the MHK. It's the refereeing department of the league. She wasn't there, okay? And so the crazy part is anyone that actually gives us any like favorism, they don't get matches. They get suspended and whatnot. Meanwhile, if anything happens to Fener, that ref is completely gone. Erased off the planet of like they're gone. Yeah. Like Thanos, bro, like snaps their fingers and that fucker is gone. Meanwhile, these guys get awarded. So it's still difficult. Yes, we have 6 points. They still have to play one more game. But all it takes is two draws. And these refs have so much power in their hands. One red card in our name, what are you going to do? You can't always beat the ref. And so I hope our board, our president, Erden Timur, Dursun Özbek, they come out and play the game as much as Ali Koç and co plays it. They need to do something. This cannot keep going on, bro. I want a fair league, bro.
Yeah, the thing with this is as well. And now, okay, we gave our views from, of course, Galatasaray point of view, but let's also do it just from a football view, like purely football view as well. It just ruins enjoyment
Sure.
for everyone as well. Like how
Exactly, bro.
how are okay, like we're a bit older, of course, we're like 25 to, well, by now 30. But let's say young kids right in Turkey growing up and they see this. Are they really going to be excited by this? Scandals left and right. The thing with that game, and I really don't like to talk about opposition, but the thing with the game as well is Alliance went ahead 1-0 at halftime, and the admin of Fener went crazy on Twitter about talking about how the systems are, injustices being done, etc., etc. And then they win 3-1. And then they're quiet, right? Then, oh, we don't care anymore. It's really ignorant by not only those type of teams, but I think most parties. If only instead of laughing at each other when we get penalized, be it us or other teams, there has to be one way or another that clubs actually could come together in this regard. Because even though we are the most disadvantaged team in this way, I still wish that, Galatasaray, Beşiktaş, beat Trabzon, Fener could somehow come together and just solve this, because this is fucking ridiculous that this keeps happening every single time. So
Yeah, and they brought this broad to come fix these issues, but she seemingly have made it worse.
Yeah.
that's the thing. Exactly.
What the hell?
What a
Like,
country, bro. What a
I was
She
about to
starts
say,
off
is that
with a
Turkey
scandal,
thing
bro.
or not? Like,
yeah,
how is
what
it
a
possible?
country, bro. This is we are witnessing like vintage Turkey antics right now, bro. Like it's actually just, it makes me laugh. It's fucking hilarious.
Bro, and if you guys didn't see when she was first announced as the head of MHK, bro, there were so many things that came out regarding her. Bro, she was simping on Ali Koç, bro. She was licking his ass. Bro, and it was so bad that she had so much under her fucking Twitter, like, that went against her. She deleted her Twitter because there was just too much evidence that showed her bias towards Fenerbahce. There's just too much. There's still, evidence out there. People kept like screenshots of her profile, but they couldn't get all of it because she deleted her profile. She was following all the Fener pundits and everything. She was hardly following anybody from Galatasaray. She always had pictures with Ali Koç. Everything, bro. And so how can you like appoint someone that's that biased?
You know what we need? Okay, this is a bit random, of course, but I'm gonna link this to a country. Yeah, I know it's very random, but this is one country in Europe where multiple ethnicities live together and they have to cope with each other, right? And that country is called Bosnia. And guess what they have? 3 presidents, all representing their own people. One for the Serbs, one for the Bosnians, one for the Croats. Instead of having one, head for this MHK thing, why don't we have like one of each club basically representing and being like the head and trying to, find solutions in an unbiased way, because you check each other, right? Because it is wrong that the head of this thing is Fener brought in this case. Maybe Beşiktaş brought, Galatasaray one. I don't care. I just want it to be unbiased. Like, I don't want to see certain decisions going towards one or not the other. And for listeners who want to check more on also, like, I guess, pictures or other stuff on other clubs, there's this site called hakemhataları.tr.gg, where you can see week by week who's being favored, who's not. And it's just ridiculous in general.
Who's being the most favored?
Okay, of course, that's also a very good question. So in general, the team that's been favored the most by this group, which consists of, I think, 6 or 7 members, the team that's favored the most is, can you guys guess? It's, of course, Fenerbahce.
Rizespor?
No, of course, Fenerbahce is the one that's been favored the most. They have the most, decisions go in their favor.
Yeah, it's obvious, bro.
Very obvious.
Yeah, bro. You can see it's like to the naked eye. You can see, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, they get like away with so many of the tackles that other teams don't get away with. They get pens that other teams don't get pens for.
Mm-hmm.
They get penalties from outside the box, bro. Literally shifting the rules almost.
I know.
I don't know, man.
So it's Fener, basically. And then I think it was followed by, Beşiktaş. Like, Trabzon's a bit equal, but we almost always get something against us. it's
Okay,
actually,
where are we on that list?
yeah, we're bottom, of course, because I think
Bottom.
yeah, we got like, I think if I recall correctly, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but we had like 20 decisions go against us, while like 6 or 8 in favor, basically, which is like nothing. And for Fener, it's the other way around. They got like 6 or 7 against them and like 20 in favor of them, which is
Unbelievable, man.
We just gotta keep trucking along, man. I mean, you just said it. Like, we're at the bottom of the list, but we're winning, man. We're
yeah.
first.
That's also the thing. If we do win this in the end, I'm not gonna jinx it now by saying we're definitely winning it. I don't want to lose another game, but if we do win in the end, bro, like the tears that we'll be drinking.
It'll be one of the.
Oh my god. Like,
I know.
It'll be one of our greatest achievements, man. In a season like this, that's so
Yeah.
like out in the open, man. Like the fraud. It's ridiculous, man. So I think we covered most of what we wanted to talk about, guys. Unless you guys have anything else to add.
Yeah, no, not really anything else to add in terms of the discussion, but just maybe briefly before we head out, we have after the break on April 5th, we're playing the quarterfinals for the Turkish Cup against Başakşehir. That's at home. And then after that, our next league game is at home to Kayseri.
Kayseri or Adana? I thought it was Adana.
No, Kayseri. I
the
think
schedule is a bit weird right now. Like on certain apps,
Yeah.
it shows that we have like 2 games like back to back.
Adana was canceled.
Exactly.
That's why.
Yeah, it's saying that I'm honestly not even sure what happened there. It says postponed, but I don't know what the fuck's the schedules are all messed up. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but,
it's okay.
yeah, but we have those, whether it's Adana or Kayseri, regardless, we will be at home for that match. So of course I expect nothing less than 3 points, and then we have the Turkish Cup as well. So yeah, man, like I said, we just got to keep trucking forward one match at a time. We know that we can win regardless, man. They can call whatever they want. We know we have the ability to put the ball in the net, and that's what's gonna win you the football match, right?
Right. What do you guys think about the Kayseri game? It's what is it, on Sunday, April 9th? So it's quite a bit from now. You guys think Mertens will be back in time?
I think so. I think. As far as I heard so far, they were saying that he'll be back in the beginning of April. So either he'll be back, or I think that'll be the last game he'll miss. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's healthy to play. But Salih, do you? I know we can't ask Emre, but do you want to give predictions with me?
Prediction already? Jesus, let me think. Kayseri. Yeah, that's difficult. We play at home. I think Kayseri, just speak about Kayseri itself. From the few games I've watched, they actually play nice football, man. They have that coach, Çağdaş Atan. They play some like decent attacking football. They can't finish for their lives, but they do play a bit more open. They're not your typical, put 11 plays at the back and just wait it out and, hope for a certain counterattack. And since we play at home, I'm going to say it's just going to be a win. I think it'll be back to winning ways. I know we're coming back from a break, of course, and we're usually not good with those. However, I still have the confidence that we'll win the game.
This is one break we really need.
We do. Yeah, we do.
It's like, I think from a mental standpoint, for the team to like get back together and just like rethink the whole strategy, I think it'll give Okan Hoca some time to breathe and rethink his strategy. Because this is the final stretch, man. This is the last couple games remaining, man.
Yeah.
I know people saying we have a ton of games remaining. Not for me. That's not how I look at it. Because things can change very quickly.
They can. This whole thing can get flipped on its head really fast. But
how many games do we have left? I think it's like 10 or so, because we don't play against Antep anymore, of course, and Hatay.
Yeah, I remember I counted the other day. I think it was 9 games. I want to say 9. Yeah, something like that. But
9 finals.
It is, honestly. And look, like what I was gonna say was I have full trust in Okan Buruk. Full trust. I have full trust in all the players, and we have some players that just have championship DNA, championship mentality that no other team in the league has, and it's simple as that. And that's what's going to bring you to the trophy when you have those players. Icardi, Torreira, Sergio, Muslera, Mata. These are the players where Mata's won everything, man. Come on. We're don't get me wrong. We're not going to put him on the pitch.
Wise, all right,
we're not going to put him on the pitch. Let's not get it twisted. He's not stepping foot on that fucking pitch.
Yeah, he's like a veteran, basically.
I was about to say, I just want to make sure you weren't referring to him when he's playing.
He's not stepping foot on that pitch. I can tell you that right now. But he knows how to win. He knows the mentality that you have to win. He knows what goes into winning. He knows what you have to do to lift the trophy at the end of the season, at the end of the tournament, whatever it is, right? We have that. The championship DNA is not only baked in the team with the players we have, it's literally in our club DNA. That's all we do. It's all we know how to do. So I have full faith in everyone. I know we're gonna see it out regardless of all this bullshit that's going on. And as for my prediction, we're at home. I'm gonna say a 3-0 victory over Kayseri, and we'll see how it goes, man.
I didn't give my score, but I wouldn't have said 3-0, I should say. I was thinking more of a 2-0, like 1 goal less. I think just a steady 2-0, and then we'll just see
have
out.
like, I think we only have 2 games where we won with more than 2 goals at home, which is concerning. But hopefully, you guys' predictions come true, man.
Yeah, man.
And John, you really moved me with what you said, man. You want to take us out with that said.
Yeah, man. Thank you everyone again for listening. Episode 49. I can't believe it. The next one is episode 50. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, crazy.
So thank you everyone that's been with us from the beginning. Thank you for those that are just joining now. Give us a follow on our socials at the Lions Den GS. Follow us on Twitter. We've been posting some bangers over there. Give it a look. And again, thanks everyone so much for listening. We'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Peace.